Let's take this down. Let's read. Police force first Mr. Gay China pageant to close. New York Times, uh, Saturday. That is, police force first Mr. Gay pageant to close. Police shut down what would have been China's first Mr. Gay pageant, Mr. China's gay pageant, and this isn't exactly homegrown. They only quote Zhang here, but they've changed it up online because the hard copy, which I've mislaid, cited a Mr. Deutscher, Ben Zhang here, as an American agitator, counselor, advisor there in China. Pageant featuring a fashion show and a host and drag was set to take place. 8 police officers turned up the upscale club, the Land Club, an hour before. It's the struggling, nipped in the bud, the struggling gay movement in China. And if they go out after them, my God, that would be a cause for the U.S. to take a stand and for the Obama administration to start drawing lines in the goddamn sand. SarcMark. And Maureen Dowd, interestingly enough, his column this week was on, as if to emphasize the oddity of it, wink, gay marriage, which isn't doing too well, but as an issue in America. Her column today is "An Odd Couple Defends Couples That Some, parentheses, Oddly Find Odd." We got a lot of odd in there. It has been quite a journey for Ted Olson. He's gone from being the conservative lawyer who helped crown W by winning the Bush-Gore case before the Supreme Court, Judge Scalia, to being a lesbian. Maureen, he told me in his gravelly voice, one of the biggest lesbian groups in this country, told me I'm already a temporary lesbian. Did it make you feel different, I wondered? I still like women very much, he wryly replied. I gotta get some gravel in here. I'm not. As his backing pal, liberal adversary, and now co-counsel David Boies laughed, snacking on a crust of sourdough bread in their temporary office on Mission Street. That would be in San Fran. So I won't go into further what Maureen does, but Chinese this turn up in China, gonna stage the first annual Mr. Gay Chinese pageant with Mr. Zhang saying that had never in his life experienced such a breakup. Excuse me. This is why I couldn't do that Jon Stewart stuff, Daily Show, whatever his name is. Well, when you condense the news like this, the other one I wanted to do right quickly, I don't know whether I've got time because to cut ourselves off by 10 minutes is, it turns out in the article, The Lonely Trek to Radicalism for Nigerian Terror Suspect, Umar Farouk Abdul Muttalib. The lonely trek right at the end there, when he was getting ready to be radicalized and wind up on a plane uh, strapped with explosives in a suicide rig. Uh, which I do want to show is being depicted in the New York Times. Let's see. I've got to know whether this is actually showing the picture. Well, I'm going to complete it as if it does, but this says the next one. I hope I'm putting it up here. And it's got these wires on it as if there had already been one suicide bombing, but since we know that it didn't go off, nor was there seemed to be any kind of way of triggering, detonating that kind of explosive with what was going on there, uh, that puts a backdrop to this story, and then I'll be off. That he was condemning, the radicalism consisted in him condemning his father for usury as a banker, as it were, bleeding the people. And every time he would come home, uh, finance neighborhood mosque, his father's career in banking had bought great wealth, enough to finance a neighborhood mosque in the family name and hire a private imam at his home. His cousin said young Abdullah openly condemned the profession as immoral for charging interest and lectured his father to quit. So what we have is he would tell his father he needed to quit banking because it was un-Islamic. As we have as a radicalized son condemning his father as a banker uh, in the name of the religion of Islam, winding up on a plane uh, headed into Detroit as if it were to be bombed and exploded. Uh, Walked on to and by the passport examiners in Amsterdam, it is said, by other passengers. First of all, let's see what I've got.